Hi, this is Nathan Lehman at the Ultra Running Company, and today we're going to dive right into a shoe review of the Topo Athletic Phantom. The Phantom is a brand new offer from Topo Athletic designed to compete in the maximalist cushion category, but as always we're going to look at this from an Ultra Running Company standpoint, and so for us the Topo Phantom is a comfort cushioned low drop road running shoe. What does that mean? Let's take it from the very beginning. So first thing we look at when we look at our shoes is basically the amount of cushion on the shoe itself. In this particular one, we call it a comfort cushion shoe. It has a 30 millimeters of cushion in the heel and 25 millimeters of cushion in the front, right under your toe box. And so as a result, this shoe has a 5 millimeter drop. So a little bit more cushion under the heel than under the forefoot. And at 30 millimeters, this is a really cushioned shoe. It's designed to compete with shoes like the Hoka Bondi, Ultra Paradigm, and basically anybody that's trying to copy those two. What we really like about Topo's approach is that they never just try and do what other brands are doing. They try and do something unique each time. And so this shoe basically uses a new technology of theirs. Everyone's using different density foams, and kind of new technology in their midsole, which is this portion of the shoe right here. Topo calls theirs ZipFoam. We've put some miles on this shoe, but not enough to be able to tell how long this new ZipFoam holds up. The idea is that it's consistently soft and consistently bouncy throughout the life of the shoe. Ideally, this is going to last as long or longer than a traditional compressed EVA foam, which is basically where they take a bunch of foam and build it down and push it down. What they're doing is kind of combining more I guess bouncy rubbers with the traditional midsole materials and giving them just a little bit more cushioning, more pillowy cushioning. This is about the most pillowy shoe I've ever put on my feet. It feels like you're just stepping into a Barcalounger from a comfort standpoint, and so it's very nice in that regard. It also has a very nice roll off the front, what's sometimes called a rocker, where basically when you have this much cushion under your heel and midfoot, when you roll forward, the shoe assists you in doing that and gets a little bit less cushion up here so that you can still get some feel with your big toe as you push off. That's generally where the power comes from, and so most shoes with this amount of cushion are going to have that nice roll off the front. With this much softness, it does make us question how long it's going to maintain that softness and if it will end up bottoming out a little bit. The idea with ZipFoam is that it does not, and so what we'll try and do in our notes is once we've got a couple hundred miles on these shoes, we're going to update our notes in the notes section, let you know how it's holding up over time, and that'll be our one question, because this is it's an uncommonly comfortable cushion under your foot. It really feels like you just kind of sink in and then pop right off of it. So we really like how it feels. Our only question is going to be long-term durability on it. So we'll make sure we update that in the notes section. The other thing that Topo does exceptionally well is they have what their competitors call a foot-shaped toe box. We're going to call it kind of a rounded toe box. In the past, all shoes, or virtually every shoe, has been tapered towards the front with the idea that people have a very pointy foot. Our experience with over 10,000 people coming through the Ultra Running Company is that nobody has a very pointy foot where the center is pointier than the rest of it. This is generally what feet are shaped like, and so we really love it when shoes like Topo and Ultra have this shape. It's not the shape for everyone, but it is a shape that fits a wider variety of shoes. So basically what you have in that foot-shaped rounded front is where you're pushing off, you've got a very durable type of rubber. This black portion is going to wear very well. It's what we call a carbon-based rubber, and carbon tends to be a little bit harder than other materials. So everywhere you see black, it's going to wear really well. Everywhere you see white, it's the ZipFoam, and that's going to wear quite a bit faster. So these are the high abrasion areas. People tend to land on their heels a little bit. People tend to push push off, land maybe on their midfoot and then push off on their toes. So Topo strategically placed this. The reason it doesn't cover the entire bottom is because with this much cushion, they're really sensitive to weight. And so that gets us to the weight of the shoe. For women, this is an 8.6 ounce shoe. For men, it's 10.2. Generally speaking, we like our shoes to be under 10 ounces in sample sizes. So when they say it's 10.2 ounces for men, they're talking about a men's size 9. For women, they're generally talking about a women's size 7. If you've got a boat like I do and you're running around with flippers, this is a 12.4 ounce shoe, so almost 12.5 ounces, which is definitely on the heavier side. So you're not going to use this for any speed work. It is going to hold your feet down a little bit. If you think about 12.4 ounces, you know, a couple hundred steps every mile, and you're really lifting a lot more weight when you get in a shoe of this weight. So something to think about as you go. That's pretty standard with the maximally cushioned shoes, but kind of the place where you tip the scales a little bit is around that 10 ounces for the size 9. So this is just a little bit heavier than that. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels very light. That probably has to do with looking at it and saying, wow, that's going to be a heavy shoe. And it really ends up not being that way. As we move to the upper, this material on top, aesthetically, there's no color of the Phantom that's going to jump out at you and say, wow, this is just a fast, bright, shiny shoe. It's pretty conservatively styled. This isn't going to offend anyone, but I'm not sure it's going to inspire anyone either. So if you're putting this on, what you're getting is a great kind of work-a-day shoe. It looks like it's going to hold up very well. Topo's workmanship has been fantastic in our experience. The uppers really hold up well, but if you're looking for that bright, shiny shoe to impress the neighbors, this probably isn't going to be your first choice. It's comfortable, it fits well, and it looks like you see in this video. So a little conservative, I'd say. As we go through the rest of the shoe, you're going to pay about $130 for this shoe. In the maximal shoe category, you're generally looking at about $150 plus. So for us, this is a really great value. If the lifespan is what we hope it'll be, 500, 600, 700 miles on this shoe, that $130 is going to be a really nice investment. So stay tuned. We'll be sure to post this in the notes section, our lifespan on it, but the step-in feel is fantastic. So when you step into the shoe, you put it on in a store, it's going to feel comfortable. It's going to run true to size. So if you're a 13 in your average shoe, you're a 13 in the Topo Phantom. It's going to feel great when you put it on. It's going to feel great when you're running. It really absorbs a lot of that shock through this highly cushioned midsole, and it just really pops you off. So it feels great to run in. The only one piece of feedback that we had getting back to the upper is because there's so much cushion here and because this curls up, we did get a little bit of feeling right here that this toe box may be a little what we'd call shallow. So sometimes we'd feel a little bit with our toes picking up. That may or may not be an issue for you, but do pay attention to it when you try on the shoe in a store, when you go for your first run, if you order it online. So again, really fantastic shoe, fun for us, and we have great hopes on how long this shoe lasts. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. We try and get to those as quickly as we can, and please let us know if there's any additional information we can add on this or any review. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Learn to love to run, and check us out at ultrarunningcompany.com.